Assalamu alaikum. Welcome to my channel, and for today's topic we are going to discuss K-mean clustering. Yes, K-mean clustering. Let's discuss clustering. The technique to separate data sets into multiple groups on the basis of having similar features and characteristics is called clustering. Clustering is being used in unsupervised learning algorithm in machine learning as it can segregate multivariate data into various groups on the basis of common pattern hidden inside datasets. In data science for clustering, we have a method which is called K-mean clustering, which we are going to learn. Now we are on to our topic, K-mean clustering. K-means algorithm is an iterative algorithm that divides a group of n datasets into k subgroups or clusters based on the similarity and their mean distance from the centroid of their subgroup cluster. To perform K-mean clustering on a dataset, we have a simple algorithm which we could follow. Firstly, we select the value of k, and the k is the number of clusters which we have to form on the dataset. In the next step, select random k points which will act as centroids. These centroid count is the same as the number of clusters which we have to form. Next step is that we perform the distance formula on the randomly selected points and assign each data point to the nearest centroid which will form the predefined clusters. Place a new centroid of each cluster. This new centroid is not randomly selected, but after calculating the average of the data points, we assign the new centroid of each cluster. In the next step, we have to repeat this step until the new closest centroid of each cluster is the same as the previous one. If any reassignment occurs, then go to the step 4, else go to the step 7, which is the finish. We have covered the algorithm. Now let's code. In the code, we first have to import the libraries, and we have imported NumPy, Matplotlib, Pyplot, and for the distance formula, we imported SciPy. Run this. So for our data, we selected random data, and n is the number of data sets, and p is the features of those sets. K is the number of cluster. In this case, we selected three cluster, and to initialize the data, we use the NumPy library to select the random points. We get the random, and we plot the scatter plot graph of the x points from x-axis to y-axis. This is These are the points. And for the center points, we choose randomly selected center point from these points. Then there are a number of steps to follow in the k-means. So we have to update the cluster memberships, like we have to assign the closest data to the centroid to their respective clusters. So by these, first calculating the distances and then assigning the data to their clusters, the step is concluded. And the next step, we have to update the center. The center should be the mean of the data we have in the group in the particular clusters. So when we update this center, we can further iterate. These will be the data. Now for the now we have done step 1 and step 2 separately. Now we can compile the data in a whole code. By this we selected the random, so in this code the values does not change. We first initialize the centers and then we initialize the closes. So now we run a while loop. In while loop we in the end we have to check that if the closest is equal to the previous closest. This is the break point of our code. So first we have to copy it to check it. The print is for our convenience. We can remove it also, or we have print so we could see the coding in process. We apply the distance formula and select the minimum value from the distance so we can assign the data to the respective clusters. We further update the centers and the iteration continues until the previous closest is equal to the closest. Then as you can see, the groups are divided in separate clusters and we can also scatter plot them to further visualization, clear visualization. Scatter plot like this. Thank you for watching.